So I'm back to doing like JP and NA stuff. I'm talking about Miyu today because she will be buffed tomorrow. Miyu's MP buff was, for me, it was like a big deal just because he is now basically a 4-star Merlin. She doesn't function exactly like Merlin, but her MP is extremely similar to Merlin's. And that, like, he comes around so rare. So if you need a lighter version of his MP, you can kind of do the job. She's not gonna be nearly as good as Merlin at it, but she's gonna be able to do the job. 8.6k attack, it's fine. She's supposed to be a support. She's not supposed to be doing damage at all. HP higher. It's not as high as Nocturia, who I just talked about. That video should be out later. This should be coming out like this should be the early video. Nocturia is supposed to be later. HP is high. That's what you want on a support, like a tankier support. You want the HP nice and high. Different what? Oh, the different voice actresses are for Sapphire. Because Sapphire does talk. Star weight, star gem, caster numbers, MP charge 0.81%. Very, very similar to Merlin. Actually, I think the difference between their kits is a buzzer card and extra attack. Otherwise, they have very similar MP gain and hit count. Like playing Merlin and playing Miyu, they're pretty similar in terms of refund. There's what differs though. 30% arts buff to herself. Ups her crit damage. I'm not a fan of her having crit damage here. I think they need to buff this and make this AoE. Because she is not a DPS. She is not a DPS. If they make this AoE, oh my god, she's gonna be so good. She's not gonna be taking Merlin or Lady Avalon's place. She's not gonna be just 4-star Lady Avalon. She'll be like different in their roles. Like you would still bring Lady Avalon from like if you want like the full damage buffs, but this wouldn't be that bad. This wouldn't be that bad for someone that's supposed to be casually doing crits, like in a 90+ node where you need to crit someone down. Like this would be nice. Guts 1 time 3 turns. Debuff immunity 1 times 3 turns. Art survivability, very nice on the support. Like these two together, honestly, there's no offensive part on this. You're popping it because you need it. Probably preemptively popping this, honestly, for the debuff immunity. Like this is a solid skill. I would definitely buff the first skill over this one. Child of God, 30% battery targeted and increases buff success rate by 30%. Miyu, like if she could get her arts buff AoE, would legitimately be a decent support. But I don't think they're going to do that, specifically because Prince of Lang. He also has a targeted battery that also buffs success rate. Yeah, so let me actually bring him up because what I'm kind of asking is for her to just be him but a caster. So it's yeah, no, that actually is what I'm asking. I don't think she should have crit damage though. Like she doesn't need it. That's why I want an AoE. But yeah, like this is the same skill just on a 10% more, which for a lot of farming is preferred. You'd want it, especially for Nero in particular. She'd want this 30% for her stuff. It means like less requirement on her end to be better, but That's up here. That's a practicality thing that you have to decide for yourself. But yeah, they both. She has a better version of it, but hers is on a longer cooldown. But if you're farming, you really don't. It doesn't really matter. This is gonna help anyone with Imperial privilege, especially because like Ozzy has a 20. So if you pop this on Ozzy, he has the 50, and then you pop someone else like a Vitch to get him to 50. Like obviously he doesn't need it. Like if I'm saying like if you did not have him leveled enough, because I think that the 20% battery AoE on Ozzy is static, but the buff success rate is what levels. So let me just double check that. Yes, the 20% is guaranteed, but not the buff success rate. So if you do not have Ozzy like leveled, like you're missing mats, you can bring Miyu or Prince of Lang Ling. It really depends on you. Like if you have his append, you can bring Lang Ling. If you don't have the append, bring Miyu. And that should get you the finish line to get like a more even setup for him, because it really is kind of frustrating how he has a 20 AoE and then a 20 append, and he still needs another 10 to be used with Vitch without wasting battery. Little annoying. Not gonna cap. All right. So she is probably one of the better Imperial privilege buffers because of the 30%. But Ozzy, if you're using a party of more people than just him using Imperial privilege, you're probably going to want. Oh wait. Oh, hold up. I actually wasn't paying attention. Is Prince of Lang Ling's one turn? I think his is one. Oh no. Okay. Whoa. No, Miyu far outclasses him. She far outclasses him. And for Ozzy in particular, depending on his cooldown, he might not get his battery back in time. So her giving a 3-turn buff success rate is actually a lot stronger than you might think, because Ozzy's is 1 turn. If you put this on Ozzy, he is going to be, you don't have to worry about his 3rd skill's cooldown, because it is awkward. It's on a different cooldown than the other 2 skills, so you will get his Imperial privilege back before his battery comes off if he is 10-10-10. So any Imperial privilege servant is going to like Miyu, possibly over Ozzy. Like, cannot stress this buff success rate being 3 turns. It is very, very strong. Magic resist B, cool. 17.5% debuff resistance. Infinite mana supply B, 4% battery per turn. Bit like Miyu is literally like 4 different characters merged together and just like fits well. Seriously, if they made this AoE, or targetable, I will take it being targetable. Make it targetable. If Lang Ling's is AoE, make this targetable. Please. Alright, so right. Mana loading, get it, she's a support. It's not that so she can MP fast, like use a 50% with her. It is so, I just prefer all my supports having mana loading like unlocked and like maxed out. 20% is just a nice even number. It makes Castoria's setups like easy, especially because she's arts. Okay, this buff is so huge because of how shitty this was before. So she needs to stay alive for the party to get this buff. This is why Merlin and Lady Avalon are better. They give buffs to the party. This is all a buff on her. Depending on if Miyu is alive at the end of the turn, you get all the buffs for the party. That's what distinguishes them. So every turn, the entire party got 10%. Every turn for 3 turns. 500 heal at base. And you did 3,000 damage to yourself. You needed MP5 not to heal back to what you were before you popped the MP. Meaning if you spam this MP, you would kill yourself very easily. Very, very easily. Because you wouldn't be healing more than you could get back. And the overcharge was 5 stars per turn per stack of this buff. Buffed MP. So now it's a charisma that lasts for, she gets a 10% charisma every turn for 3 turns, and this scales with overcharge. Her base healing is now consistent with Merlin. Starts at 100, 1000, ramps up to 2000. Good MP scaling. This is so much better. Because at the end of the day, depending on how high a copy you have of Miyu, you will be like at the end of the turn, you will be getting a full-on charisma every single turn. You can have 100% uptime on this, depending on how well you're art spamming. You could even double stack this just like Merlin. It's just the same kind of thing that Lady Avalon has, where the 3 turns is a little too short of a cooldown for you to be like stacking it like Merlin's, because his buffs are 5 turns. That's why he's like as broken as he is. That's why he's probably not getting a buff, because his MP is really easily double stacked. It enables being double stacked very well. This not so much, but it's more potency up front. Like you could say Miyu is like prototype proto Merlin, because their MPs are very functionally similar. The only difference is that all these buffs are on Miyu. Miyu needs to stay alive. You need to protect Miyu. It's really good that Miyu has the guts, because the second Miyu's gone, you're losing out on protection of Satsuki. The attack buff you are keeping. That is not changing. That is not tied to this buff. It is applied to all the characters in the party. It's just remember, it's a low buff at MP1. If you want it to be nice, consistent, at least MP2. MP5, you're at 20%, the normal charisma numbers. So it's like this goes from E rank charisma to a oh my god. Oh my god, yeah, this is actually a giant meme, and it's showing like year 1 balancing. Oh my god, yeah, it actually is showing year 1 balancing E rank charisma versus A plus charisma, or A rank charisma. Bond CE, 15% MP gen while she's on the field. Very good for her. Very, very good for her. Is this buff enough to summon for her? No. Actually, so here's the thing. When this banner did come out before Summer 8 or Summer 6 on JP. It did. But we're kind of at the point where the Murderer's Row is over. If you got Vitch, if you got Oberon, you are good. You can get any servants you want now. You don't really need to be saving, except for like next year, Summer 8 or Summer 7, the Zet. You can save for the more high profile servants. I don't have to say like, yes, I have to kind of say like save for Summer Ibuki, obviously, save for Summer Scotty. But like it's not as restrictive. Like if you already have like really good arts farmers, yeah, you might want Summer Ibuki, but you don't need her. You needed Vitch and Oberon for the meta. You don't need Summer Ibuki. She's just like really, really good. Miyu's buff, it's fine. It fixes most of the problems with the kid. She is now not going to kill herself. She will live. Miyu wants to live. He wants to live with Shiro and Illya and do the President Illya stuff with Illya. I'm not talking about that stuff. These kids are literally supposed to be the same age as my kids at work. It is awkward as shit. I don't want to watch this because I'm not watching my kids make out at work. I'm not watching like prepubescent girls do it either. Simple as that. If you like Prisma Illya, more power to you. I should not be watching it because they're literally the same age as my students. I don't need to know what my students do in their private lives. All right, peace out. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.